Hello and happy belated New Year. I'm so excited to start off the new year with a little mini book haul and talking about some of my reading goals. Even though I definitely am not going to be able to stick to it once school starts because I am in two English lit classes, a creative writing workshop, which we're going to have to read in, and a reading intensive psych class. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have for actually fun reading, but damn it, I will try my best. Let's first get into the book haul. So my goal this year was to start off with as many new books as I can and with zero money in my pocket. I am broke right now. I'm just counting down the days where I can go back to school so I can get a job so I can finally not be broke anymore. I have the money sitting in my account right now is for my rent and maybe $50. Luckily, I'm living with my parents this break. But the first three books that I'm going to talk about, I actually talked a little bit about in my very, very first video. And those books are Odes to Lithium, Night Sky with Exit Wounds, and The Collected Schizophrenias. Two of these being poetry collections and one of these being an essay collection. These were all again recommended to me by my creative writing teacher. He said he thinks it's very important to read works outside the style that you typically write in. I'm primarily a fiction writer. I wrote stories and short stories. I have written poetry for class because the workshop I was in was fiction and poetry. And I do actually plan on writing an essay or maybe a few essays in the very near future about my experience with something. But I agree though, I think even if I wasn't planning on doing this, you can learn so much in mediums you don't work in. And for example, I want to read a lot more poetry because I want to add more flowery language into my prose pieces. Because I feel like how I write now is very blunt, if that makes sense. And I want to add a little spice to it. I want to spice it up, So a little more flair. I'm really excited to read these. I probably won't do a sit down reading of all of them at once, but I'll probably maybe read a few poems here or there, maybe read an essay here or there while I'm in the middle of reading books or while I'm between reading books. So it might take me a little longer to read these, but I am excited. The next two books, I will admit, I did get because they are popular on TikTok, which is great. TikTok's a great resource for a lot of things, and I think getting people into reading is actually one of them. But I do have some problems with BookTok, and I'll talk about it while I talk about these two books. The first book is My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which I for some reason have not read yet, and Bunny. I saw them both at Barnes & Noble on the buy one get one 50% off table. I'm I gotta get them. Too good to pass up that deal. But the thing is, My Year of Rest and Relaxation, I feel is a love it or hate it book. I've seen very mixed opinions, especially on TikTok. My cousin liked it. I feel we have similar tastes. I don't know exactly why people are so split about it. I never looked really too deeply into it because I wanted to go in completely blind because I'm going to read it eventually. I won't watch this TikTok. I don't want to get spoiled. I want to read it and not have an opinion already placed in my head, which I have such the biggest problem doing is I watch movie reviews or watch video essays about certain things before I experience them or watch them or read them or play them or whatever, and I already have an opinion in my head, which I feel really clouds my judgment. But yeah, I definitely want to go into blind with this one, especially since opinions are so mixed. All I know about it is it's like this really privileged woman with mental illness who like ups the dosages in her medication so she could sleep for a year, I believe. I don't know. I find that concept a little interesting. I am again a little worried about it, but when I finish it, I will probably make an analysis video, or just like maybe my thoughts, why my opinion split. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this book yet. We will see. The next book, Bunny, I've also heard a lot about on TikTok because I see it in like lists of like most disturbing books I've ever read. You know what I mean? And I'm a little worried because of that, because a lot of times I feel like those books in those lists are just disturbing and that's it. Like they're not enjoyable books. But I don't know. A lot of like books I've seen recommended with them are have very mixed opinions also. So I'm worried, but you know what? It's popular. I feel like I should read these books because like if I'm gonna have a YouTube channel like analyzing and like talking about fiction, might as well read the popular stuff too that everyone knows. But yeah, I will see if either of these books are enjoyable, and I'll probably make videos about it. Maybe I'll read like a bunch of TikTok books. I also hate that term. I hate book talk books because a lot of times they're like not, you know what I mean? I don't know. But and talk about how I feel about book talk. But yeah, I don't know. The next book is Night Bitch, and I think I did see somebody talk about this on TikTok once, but this is not why I got it. I got it. Sorry, dropped something. I got it because I have this irrational fear of turning into an animal. It's the scariest thing to me. If I see it in like horror, I can't watch Tusk. Nope. I don't want to read Metamorphosis by Kafka. What is another example? Like Full Metal Alchemist. No, fear. So I feel like I will get into the main character's head into this book. I don't know. I read the back. I feel like it's really interesting. I do feel like I can get really into it. I feel like it'll scare me in a deep way. And you know what? I kind of want to be scared a little bit. I'm also excited because my cousin told me they're making a movie or a TV show about it. I think a movie. And Amy Adams is playing the main character, and I loved her in Sharp Objects so much. I know she's gonna kill this role. Amy Adams plays a mentally ill bitch well. I also like psychological books when they're like kind of funny, and a lot of different reviews about this said it was a little funny. But that's a lot with a lot of these books. They're like, ooh, also funny. And I'm like, okay, I'll get it then if it's funny. But I am excited about this book, and I really do hope I like it. Okay, the next book is Exciting Times. When I read the back summary, it sounded just like a modern day lesbian version of Giovanni's Room. And I love Giovanni's Room more than I love Myself. It is probably my favorite book. It's so good. But I don't know. I don't have much else to say about this, but I'm excited to read it. I really want to like it. I've noticed that it's split up by like months as chapters and then like parts as like partners. If you don't know the plot, Giovanni's Room, it's like this one's about this girl who's moved to Hong Kong from Dublin, yeah. and she meets this guy, but the guy won't say I love you, I think, and then he goes somewhere, and then she meets this girl and gets in a relationship with this girl, but the guy's coming back, so she's like, I don't know what to do. So it's interesting to like, which is very similar plot to Giovanni's Room, and I feel like it's going to be interesting to see it in more of a modern lens, where it doesn't have the same like struggles that Giovanni's Room has. Like, obviously the tension is very different, is like the 1950s as it is, and I think this book was pretty recently published. Yeah, it says copyright 2020, so very different than 2020. 70 years. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Is that right? Yeah, 70 years. Wow. But yeah, I really want to like this book, so I hope I will. The next book is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. I got it because my cousin heard really good things about it, and they told me to get it. I'm like, okay, I will. According to the back, it's tackling stuff like mental illness, queerness, because the main character is a lesbian, religion, because she accidentally gets this job at a church, and an investigation into like a death or something. So lots of stuff going on. So I hope it captures my interest. Again, I really like books that tackle like mental illness, death, and like aren't afraid to add humor. A lot of these say it's funny, and I love that. I find it so realistic and really enjoyable when books aren't just like, oh, life is terrible, blah 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 blah. I don't find that like a really realistic depiction of mental illness, at least how it relates to me. I do like a little humor added, but yeah, hopefully I'll like it. The last book I got is Such a Fun Age. This like lamp, this lighting is like reflecting off all these books, so I'll hold it over here. Excuse me. Again, this one was also recommended by my cousin. All I know is it deals with race and privilege. This thing on the side says it's a social satire. Also, do we like this when books are half, and like 3 of the books are like this, and I don't know, I don't think I like it. I don't know. I like a full cover. I like full coverage. Call me modest in that way. But the other thing I know about it is all the copies of Barnes & Noble were like, look like they had been through it, like they had been used. Like, this was like the best one I could find, and like the corner is like destroyed. Who was destroying these books? So I don't know, maybe someone really hated it or really liked it. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I want to go in blind in this one. I like briefly skimmed the back cover, but again, I just want to see how I like it without any further knowledge. Yeah, so a lot of these books I feel like are like TikTok-y books, which again, like, I don't find a problem with. I think it's a great way of finding like books that are recently published, which is what I'm going for. But yeah, I will talk about that in a little later. Now into my reading goals. On Goodreads, I said I want to read 25 books this year. I'm so confident I will definitely go above and beyond that goal, especially with books I'm reading for my classes. But I've never done the Goodreads like goal before. I like have not used Goodreads like a lot. Like, I used to use it so much when I was in middle school, and I finally like logged back into my account. So I'm like, let's just see. Let's just start using it again. I think it's a good way to track stuff. I know it's owned by Amazon. I know there's a better one to use, but I've had this account since 2015, I believe. So I kind of don't want to let go of it. But the first book I plan on finishing or at least, yeah, I think I would say finishing is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, or finishing Go Tell It on the Mountain, which I've already started. I'm so excited for both books. I've read the poem that is in Night Sky with Bullet Wounds. Is that what it's called? Night Sky with Exit Wounds. Night Sky with Exit Wounds has On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, the poem in it, and I read it for class. I really like the way he writes, like, so much. But so I'm excited for I'm so excited for the novel. I just really want to read it. And then of course I love James Baldwin so much. I already enjoyed the book. I'm not that far into it still. I have not touched it since I was up at my apartment in college, where I was like briefly reading it because I couldn't fall asleep one night. But yeah, I'll definitely make a video about On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and it will probably be a gushing video on how much I love it. But I also think I'm planning on doing maybe a longer form video talking about James Baldwin books, maybe like saying the ones I've really enjoyed, why I enjoy it, because I love him. So yeah. My goal again this year is, I already said this, but to read as many recently published books as I can in my free time, because this semester my classes are like 1800s literature to modern times, which again is going to be a lot of older stuff, important literature figures before the 1800s, definitely older stuff. I think we're focusing on one, I don't know, I signed up because I thought it was a class on like covering a bunch of different authors, but I think it's covering one. I think it's a random playwright I have never heard of before, so slay. And then I know my teacher for my creative writing workshop likes to lean towards older stuff, which is totally fine. I just want to like get that current perspective, especially if I'm trying to get published, especially like as a writer, I want to see what is being written now. I also wanted to get more books with female main characters, and I think all of them, all my novels at least, have female main characters, which is lovely because I've been lacking on that. And I just want to relate to women. I want to see women. That's about it. I'm looking forward to having a great year, and I hope you will all be on this journey with me. I hope you guys like, I hope I start getting more views on my videos. I hope I get comments. I hope I get more subscribers, not just because like, ooh, I want to have more attention or whatever, because I just want like a place where I can just talk about books with people, or I can talk about being an English major with people and talk about writing with people. So yeah, I'm excited for this year. If you have read any of these books and you've loved or you hated, or you were like, it's okay, please comment, tell me in the comments. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.